So just what is the connection between hen's teeth and lie signs? We're going to find out in episode 31 of 101 Tips for Interviewers and Interrogators. Welcome back to 101 Tips for Interviewers and Interrogators. This is tip number 31. I'm your host, Stan Walters. We're going to talk about the connection between hen's teeth and lie signs. Now, for those of you who are not around the country or are not as old as I might be, there's an old saying that something as rare as hen's teeth. Well, it's just an old saying. There is no connection. There is no such thing as hen's teeth. Now, but that doesn't mean there's no such thing as lie signs, so don't misread me there. But what we do know is that lie signs are very rare and they're very faint. They're very hard to pick up, which presents three problems for the interviewer. How do we spot lie signs? So number one, big problem about spotting lie signs is that they are very rare. And we have a tendency, we're looking for the wrong set of symptoms. Many of the behaviors that I've seen taught on interview interrogation for loss prevention, for law enforcement, for military, those signs have been disproven as being reliable signs of deception. Look at some other episodes of 101 Tips, and we'll talk about some of those myths about what true lie signs are. So the first problem is we've developed a confirmation bias. I call it the Bigfoot syndrome. You know, if you've seen the show where they're looking for Bigfoot, well, everything they see in the woods is some type of trace or sign of Bigfoot. So we're misdiagnosing symptoms in the first place, what are just very everyday common type of stress behaviors. And we need to learn to separate stress from deception. Now remember, these cues are very faint and they're very rare. So what the interviewer needs to do is, number two, we need to energize those points where there might be deception. So look back and think about the quality of the questions that you're asking. Are you just going through the motions and just barely kind of cruising across the top? Or are you using very qualified, penetrating questions that target specific areas? The way you find those topic areas is our third key. Look for where your subject has a consistent reaction, which we call incriminating potential, not in a legal sense, but incriminating in its appearance. So there's something going on. Do you notice the subject with two or three topics that keeps showing some type of reaction? So that's where you focus your questions as the interviewer. So just like a good Google search, the stronger, the better the question, the more the answer shows up. So with your subject that you're interviewing, the better your question, the more you penetrate, now you're energizing those lie signs. You're pushing or creating a cognitive load on the subject. Now, I don't mean yelling or forcing or being hostile or aggressive. Just good, natured, quality questions that are on target. So remember, lie signs are few and they're very rare, and depend on spotting the right cues and then tapping into those areas with the right questions. So take a look again at Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. Please sure to join me. And also, just remind you again of many of the resources I have that are available for you as a professional interviewer. Please subscribe here to the subscribe list for the rest of the YouTube series. There's more coming. I'll get about 70 more episodes that are coming up with 101 Tips. And other good resources. One of the ones that's been our top selling resource has been our pocket guide. Folks love this. This is the Cliff's Notes of your symptoms, and it will go through what are those stress signs, incriminating potential we just talked about, or what are the ones that do have some type of link to deception. So it's a quick reference list for you. It goes to the narrative-based interview and also ethical interrogation tactics. Sure, take advantage of some online training courses, building an online library on demand. Get the course at a brilliant price. Spend some time in going through specific points in 1-hour blocks that you want to focus on or start to improve your skills. Then take a little test afterwards so that you can get a certificate if you need CEUs. Then also take a look at our text, Principles of Kinetic Interview Interrogation. This is the cornerstone, soup to nuts, hardcore interview interrogation for those who want to be professional. So take a look at those resources, add them to your study. Remember, if you're not learning, you're losing out. And you've got to constantly be working and studying and practicing your skills. See you again next time. We'll come back with tip number 32. Until then, be safe.